Hey guys, and welcome back to the Gerbil Vine. Thank you all so much for being here, for clicking on this video, and for supporting our channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Bex, and I live in Ontario, Canada. I have two gerbils named Jerry and Dusk, and we started this channel in hopes of spreading around positive gerbil care, in hopes of enriching the care of gerbils all over the world. If you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button so that you never miss our uploads. Gerbil safety should always be a #1 priority. While some gerbils can be very confident, adventurous, and outgoing, this isn't always the case, and they are a prey animal, and you definitely want to be extra careful of the predators in your home, the ones outside, and even keeping other pets around your gerbils in general. I love and have a variety of different pets, and I do think that you can successfully keep other pets and keep gerbils at the same time. So without waiting any longer, let's jump into today's video and start discussing how to keep your gerbil safe from other pets in your home. Our first thing to discuss on this topic is actually having a lid. It's actually quite crazy to me the amount of homes that I do see with gerbils that don't have a lid on their enclosure. While a gerbil escaping is certainly a risk, having another animal that you live with jump into your tank is possibly an even bigger risk. All gerbil tanks should have a lid. This creates a protective barrier for them from predators that may want to pay their burrows a visit. Oh my goodness, you can't take all of those. Something else to consider would be the type of topper that you use if you do use one at all. It was very important to me when creating my topper that I had a cage with bar spacing tight enough that my cats could not swipe their paw through. The bar spacing on the Preview 528, which is what I used to make my topper, is 3/8 of an inch. It's tight enough that my gerbils cannot squeeze in and out of it, and the cats can't squeeze their paws in. This is a matter of safety, as I unfortunately cannot guard my tank at all times. So far, there have been no issues or injuries, and it's been a very peaceful time. Something else you may want to heavily consider is tank placement. I keep my gerbil tank in my room. I have a 40-gallon tank with topper that I have sitting on top of an old piano bench. Hi. Oh, Kitty. Kitty, hello. Say hi. My tank is quite high up from the floor, making it a challenge for animals that may want to jump up on top of the tank and stare down from above. If you do own other pets, I would recommend putting your gerbil tank on like a table or something off the ground so that they are not easy access for predators. For the most part, cats are opportunists. If they can easily jump on top of the tank and stare into it, they will. You may have noticed in some of my videos that I have these fake little plants stuck on top around the perimeter of my tank. This is a tactical move on my part. When the cats look up at the tank, from their viewpoint, they see a bunch of sharp, spiky, pointy objects, which is something that they want no part of. Since I've had the tank set up like this, I haven't had a single issue of any of my cats trying to jump on top of it, which is always a huge worry of mine. Having small pets and owning cats can be a nightmare sometimes. You always want to make sure that your gerbils are protected and that your cats are not encouraged to interact with them at all. Having small pets and owning a dog can be much different. I have a husky lab who has a very high prey drive. Some dogs, such as terriers or hounds, are also going to have an increased risk of harming your gerbil. If your dog is well trained and listens to your commands, is responsive to your voice, and knows their boundaries, this generally shouldn't be an issue. But sometimes dogs do what they want to, especially when we're not watching them. Think of them essentially like very large toddlers. For example, if I notice my dog showing any sort of interest, like trying to stare into the tank or maybe fixating on them while they're walking around their topper, I break his focus and immediately have him come over to me and start doing something else. You really don't want your dog to focus too much on the gerbils, as if they start heavily fixating on them, they can actually become obsessed with them where they just want to watch them and be around them all the time. If you can control your dog, you can definitely control the situation. Having a tank off the ground is actually much better for your gerbils, as they are not at nose level with any other pets. So now that we've covered dogs and cats, let's move on to other small pets. I hope we're all well aware of this, but you should never have gerbils interact with any other species or any other type of gerbils other than their tank mate. Your hamster would not enjoy a playdate with your gerbils, they would not like to meet your dog, and your rats will not want to snuggle with them. Keep them completely separated at all times. I keep my gerbils in a completely separate area from my hamster because smelling another rodent can sometimes trigger stress or agitation in your gerbils. Gerbils have great vision but really poor depth perception. They also have a highly tuned sense of hearing and smell. If you have another type of small pet in the same room as your gerbils are in, this is definitely something that they will be aware of. Rodents can be very stinky, and animals definitely have a stronger sense of smell than we do. Because of this, I always make sure that I sterilize any items in between changing them from one tank to another, and I always wash my hands in between touching them. And as far as I'm concerned, they have no idea that they aren't the only rodents in the house. The last point that I would like to bring up is please be aware of outdoor predators. This may seem silly or like not a big deal in comparison to the other predators that you have inside of your home, but you may be surprised at exactly what is watching your gerbils when you aren't. One day I came upstairs to check on my gerbils, and there were a couple of small birdies on the outside of my window. The gerbils were thumping and noticeably spooked, but I was extremely thankful that I had a screen and that my window was actually closed. If it was open, I have no doubt that the birds would have tried to break the screen in order to get into the gerbils, because birds do what they want to do. Because of this, I never leave my window open when I'm not present in the room. So with that, our video on how to keep your gerbils safe from other pets in your home is complete. We hope you all learned some tips or tricks on living with gerbils and other animals in your house. And always remember, do not introduce your gerbils to any other species of animal. They don't want to know them. You may think that it's cute for a photo, but gerbils are a prey animal and ones that are at the most risk of having a bad experience. If you feel like sharing, drop us a comment down below, letting us know about what other pets you have, if you have any, and the measures you take to ensure that your gerbils are safe. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, make sure that you like and subscribe so that you never miss our uploads. Thank you. Bye!